this website, which is under a temporary domain name, to another domain name on a different GoDaddy account. Okay, so first things first is we're gonna move the site to this new domain name, which is another temporary domain name just for now. We're gonna move the site to this site, okay, to this domain name. The first thing we want to do is log into the first GoDaddy account and add the domain name that we're gonna create. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. We're gonna add the domain name, and while that is loading, okay, now we go back. All right, so now that has been added to the first server, we're gonna go ahead and install WordPress on here. Okay, so first thing you want to do is find the application, which I'll do another video on how to install WordPress. But overall, this is how you do it. Just once you're on your cPanel, you'll simply click install this application. Okay, and then from here, we're going to select the domain name that we just uploaded, which this instance will be Supreme Tires. And I always like to use the one with www versus the one with no www. It just makes life easier down the line when you're uploading up the database and all that stuff. So just stick with the www. The directory leaf option. Okay, so now we're going to just scroll down. I'm just going to go ahead and, again, I'm just making these temporary passwords and stuff, so you don't have to worry about so we're just going to go ahead, and then what you do is you hit install. You can leave any of all these settings for now. It doesn't matter. They're all going to be overridden once you install the new site. All right, so just for confirmation, we're going to Supreme Tires. All right, I always like to double check the domain name, because if you select the wrong domain name, WordPress will be installed there, and that's the last thing we want. All right, so WordPress is installing, GoDaddy is installing the WordPress onto your new domain name, okay, which is done. It's that very simple. So let's see if it's there now. So this is the domain name. All right, we'll give it a couple seconds, because it has to, what happens is, since we just added the domain name, the DNS server has to be updated as well to point to this server, which is the IP address and whatnot. So while that kicks in, because it's still, like, again, it's still on the park, so we're just waiting for the server to kick in. While that kicks in, we're gonna go ahead and go to the other GoDaddy account. Okay, this is the other GoDaddy account we're gonna download the files from. Okay, so this is the cPanel, and the first thing we want to do is go to your file manager. Now, there's a lot of ways to doing this. This is just a simple, straightforward, and it works. So you don't need, there are special softwares like Dreamweaver if you want to use FTP and all that stuff, but I just figured that this is the simplest way of doing it. So, all right, so we'll go to the public HTML, and I'm gonna just look for the website I'm gonna be transferring to. So where is it at? All right, give me 1 second here. All right, so I put it on this, instead of the public HTML, I just put it here. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. Once you click on the folder, the one I want the most is this W-content folder. This is the folder that contains the theme, the plugins, the upload. So this is the main one. So go back to the folder of the website you want to copy. Simply, this is all we want. We're gonna right click and we're gonna compress. So basically, we just want a copy of it. Okay, it's gonna be a zip file. So we're just gonna hit compress. See, so this process I'm doing is what the process you will do if you had a FTP software. You would just download that WP content folder, But what I'm doing, I'm just compressing it. Okay, so it's right here. And all I'm going to do is just hit download. So it's just going to be downloaded to my my computer. So I could see here it's being downloaded. So it's pretty a large file. So it's probably going to take a couple minutes. While it's doing that, this is the next step we want to do. Okay, so we're going to go to the WP config folder, the file, just to see the name of the database. So see how it says I338774. The most important thing is this. Don't worry about the passwords; they're all going to be changed. So here's what we need. Here's the database I'm more interested in. Okay, so now we're going to go back to your cPanel. All right, so you go into the databases and select the PHP MyAdmin. From here, it's going to redirect you to your database. From here, you're going to select the database that we want to download. So if you recall, it was the WP5. Okay, so once you select it, and you see this highlighted, you simply click export. And we're just going to do it quick and hit go. Alright, so now that you downloaded the database, your downloads folder should look like something like this. Now, if you use a Safari, for some reason it always opens it for you, but in this case, we want to make sure it's a zip file. So we're just going to right click and make sure it's compressed. Okay. So now, what's going to happen is it's just going to compress it and make it into a zip file. Alright, so now that that's happening, we're going to go back to our website, and if I hit refresh, you'll notice that the Wacom, the standard default theme is installed. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our cPanel of the new server we're going to use, and we're going to go back to the file manager, and here's our folder for Supreme Tires, which is the new site we're moving the site to. Now notice here's the WordPress files. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to rename. We're going to rename the folder, the WP-content. I normally just like to put a 1 just to rename it. So obviously now if I go to the site, it should be down because I renamed the folder. Okay, so now that I renamed it, I'm going to go ahead and upload the zip file that I just created. So in this instance, will be this one. Okay, you can drag or you can select it, either one. All right, so as you can see, it's uploading the WP content from the original website. So we'll just give that a couple minutes. All right, so it looks like it's completed. Now let's go back to our file manager. So now you can see here is the folder. And the reason why we wanted to rename this is that when you extract this folder, it doesn't consider this a duplicate. So I'm just going to go ahead and extract. So once it's done, I'll go ahead and hit close. Now, and I'm going to go ahead and delete the zip folder. We don't need it anymore. And something, I use a Mac, and for some reason, every time you upload a file, it creates this folder. So I just delete this too. Okay, and I'm gonna also delete the WP content, the one we originally renamed 1. I'm gonna delete that as well. So okay, so here's the folder. As you can see, here's the plugins we currently have for that website. So now we just need to import the database. Okay, so we're going to go back. Well, actually, now that we're here, we're going to confirm what's the name of this the database for the new website. All right, so it's WP1. Okay, so we're gonna get out. We can close this. We're gonna go back to. We're gonna go here. We're gonna select PHP and my admin. It's gonna redirect us. All right, so here's the one that we need. So click on that. Now, one of the easiest way of doing this is to delete all the tables. So I simply click this and delete or drop. Okay, it's gonna ask you if that is correct. You select yes. Okay, so click on it. Okay, there's no data, no tables found. Okay, so now we're gonna click import, and we're gonna browse through that file we just downloaded. Okay, so it was this one. It ends with SQL. Okay, so all right, so this is the database from the original website. Okay, once it's that, all you're simply gonna do is scroll down, hit go. So now we're importing that old database onto the new one. So this is the reason why this makes it so easy is because we're using the new files for WordPress. All right, so it looks like it's done. So now, if we did everything correctly, if we go back to the domain name that we were going to click, and we hit refresh, the website should come up. All right, actually before we hit refresh, we want to go here onto now that we imported the new database, we're going to go under, it's going to be under options. So it's WP_options, and we need to edit that site URL because it's currently pointing to the previous one. So we're going to go ahead and type it in. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. Hit go. There's two sections you have to do this. So here it is, and then we scroll down and go to page number 2, and here line number 37 or the option ID, make sure you hit the edit and paste the site here again, and then we hit go again. Alright, so now that we did that, we could try to go to the website that we're trying to switch it over to, and I hit refresh and there it goes. Here is the current website. As you can see, this was the one that we originally got. I'm trying to see if I can squeeze in. All right, so Premium Tires. So here is the website. And if you look at the other screen we had, which was this one, this domain name, this was the original website. Now we go back. As you can see in Supreme Tires, we have this going on. And that's it. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do to move one website from one GoDaddy account to another GoDaddy account. Hope it wasn't confusing. It's very straightforward once you do it once. It gets easier. But that's it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you like my videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks.